Welcome to the Moment Masters Show, where we give you tips and tricks to help you master crucial moments with your customers and clients. In every episode, we help you strategize for long-term small business success. And now, please welcome your host, Shakira Brown. Yes. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Moment Masters Show, where we help you master the very moment in which you have the opportunity to sell your goods and services to your target audience. This podcast is all about arming you with the tools you need to achieve the growth and success you want. I am Shakira Brown. You can learn more about me at momentmasters.com, or you can visit my business website at shakirabrown.com. And if you are not following me on Twitter, why aren't you? It's so easy to do so. Just go to Twitter, enter @Small Biz Whisperer, that's @Small Biz Whisperer, where I post a myriad of tips and tricks of my own insightful musings, as well as some from small business marketing and sales gurus. So definitely check that out. And of course, you can see my social media links at momentmasters.com in the show notes for this episode or any episode.
Talk to me, tell me your sign. You're switching sides like a Gemini. You're playing games and now you're hitting my heart like a drum. Yeah, baby. She bangs. Oh, baby, when she moves. I go crazy cause she looks like a flower, but she stings like a bee. Like every girl in history.
You can't sing, you can't dance, so what do you want me to say?
I already gave my best, and I have no regrets at all.
Good for you.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's the best attitude yet.
You know, I have no professional training of singing and dancing, so.
Well, there's the surprise of the century.
And that, my friends, is a clip from American Idol taken off of YouTube, featuring William Hung, unknowing celebrity in the making at the time, with Randy Jackson, Paul Abdul, and of course, Simon Cowell on American Idol. And that happened approximately 14 years ago. On national television, William Hung went on and sang his favorite song, She Bangs. And forever, in my mind, and I'm sure a lot of people, that song is associated with him, probably much so more than the original creator of that song, Ricky Martin. And William Hung went on to reality show stardom, turning his 15 minutes of fame into 4 years of performing and entertaining crowds for money. He did a great job in those 4 years, but then he's here to tell you on the Moment Master Show that he had a little bit of a hiccup and didn't plan properly, and now he is back. William Hung is back, and he's on the Moment Master Show for this episode. So when we come back, right after this brief message, you will hear my interview with the William Hung, singer from American Idol that became famous than some of the many people who made it all the way to the last 5 people. I can't name anybody in the last 5 people who wasn't in the top 2. But William Hung never made it to Hollywood, but he ended up going in a different way. And that and much more after this brief message. Let me ask you, would you like to make your product or service irresistible to buyers? Would you like to attract more prospects and customers easier and more effectively than ever before? Would you like to never again have to explain what you do or what you offer over and over again to the same people? Would you like to learn the one thing that will boost your business into action? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, then what you want is a brand strategy. If you would like to have a branding experience that is actually rewarding, enlightening, and nearly effortless, then check out my 3-month one-on-one private intensive brand coaching program designed for business leaders like you who are ambitious, busy, work hard, and are ready to invest in your future success. For more information, click the link in the show notes of this episode. You can also email me at podcast@momentmasters.com for details. Remember, only you can decide to make your business grow into one that allows you to spend more time doing absolutely what you love, or you can simply treat it as a hobby. It's your choice. William Hung, it is an honor to have you on the Moment Masters show.
Thank you, Shakira, for having me today.
No problem. When you reached out to me, I was like, is this the same William Hung? Is this possible? and it was regard to an event that I do, and you graciously accepted to be on the Moment Masters show instead. So let's get into what you did. What year was that you were on American Idol? What year?
2004.
2004. So we're going to go way back to 2004 when you decided that you felt a need to go and audition. So tell me a little bit about what brought you to that point of going in, standing online. And what season was this? Was this the third season? Third season, right. So you already knew what the phenomenon was. You saw what happens at every audition, when they were looking at people. So tell me a little bit about your thought processes and going in and going in there and auditioning.
Well, that's when I was studying in UC Berkeley for civil engineering. I thought I was going to just be that normal guy, just try to get through school, get a decent job, and that was it. But I was doing so bad with my classes. I got my first D in my life. I don't know what to do. Should I drop out of school? Should I switch majors? But then one day I saw a poster for a school talent show at the Clark dormitories. I figured, why not? That's nothing to lose. And I sang my favorite song, She Bangs by Ricky Martin. I had no expectations, but somehow I won. The grand prize was a DVD player.
Was that for auditioning for the talent show, or was that for actually participating in it?
It was a school talent show, and I won.
Oh my goodness. And you won because, why do you feel you won? Was it because everybody, you entertained people? What was it that made you win that event?
I had no idea. I think entertaining, I had entertaining people was part of it, obviously, and I just thought, wow, if I could do that, then who knows? And then really weird. Right after I won the talent show, I heard on Fox News that American Idol auditions will be coming over to San Francisco. And that's why I tried out. I just thought I gave myself that chance, have fun, see what happens.
You know what? That's an amazing story of someone. I mean, because let me just ask you. You knew you couldn't sing, right? You knew that, right?
I don't compare myself to other people.
Did you come from a home where your family thought that you could do no wrong, and even if you sang terribly, they would actually make you feel good about it, or you just have good self-esteem?
Well, I will tell you that I didn't tell my parents about my audition because they would have said, no, you can't do this. You're not one of the top singers in the world. And I know I'm not one of the top singers in the world, but I just thought, just try. Who knows?
That is funny. So you decide to actually go to the audition that was being held locally, and you go and you stand online. Did you practice for your audition for American Idol?
I actually practiced a little bit. I mean, I know my song. I know the words.
I got to tell you that every time I was preparing to do this interview and I thought about, I would say, I got to send William something. And I would always start singing it to myself. She bangs, she bangs. You are synonymous. You are synonymous with that song.
Yeah.
So tell me what it was like walking into the room and you're seeing the American Idol judges and you're about to do your favorite song, She Bangs.
I was nerve-wracking. Let's just say here's the part people might not know. I was standing in line among thousands of people, and it wasn't easy to see Randy, Paula, and Simon. I went through multiple rounds of auditions, getting screened by the American Idol staff members and the producers, and I went through all that. So that's why I thought I had a chance, because they let me through multiple rounds.
Wow. Okay, so but understanding now, everybody knows that, you know, there are what I call ringers, people who are brought through for entertainment purposes, and clearly that was you. I don't even think that they thought that you would become basically like the reality show sensation that you became. So you did. We all have heard and seen the audition. It still holds up. I still chuckle a little bit when I see it. At the same time, I'm like, you know what? This is still relevant. So tell me, after you did that show, what happened? Did the phone start ringing? Did you start getting booked for events? What was going on after that? After it aired on Fox, the audition, what happened?
That was crazy. I did not expect that, because after they aired the audition, to be completely honest with you, I just thought that nothing was going to happen, because most people, when they don't make it to Hollywood, nothing will happen. But for my case, I got like over 150 emails from TV and performance opportunities, and I thought to myself, where did these emails come from? Maybe it's a good thing that my Berkeley email was easy for people to guess. But wow, I was like, what is this?
So you weren't prepared for this. I mean, you didn't have a publicist to help you navigate through this. You didn't have a manager, a talent manager to help you. You had to just kind of figure out, like, how do I do all this? So how did you approach that? How did you look at this as a business opportunity for yourself?
At the time, I don't think I did look at it as a business opportunity, but I thought that I needed to get out of school because I was doing horrible. I thought I needed to try something new in life, but that's why I decided to go move forward with it. But at the time, and for many years, I didn't look at it as a business opportunity. I just thought, if an opportunity comes, I'll take it. I do as much as I can.
Okay, so you start to accept some of these opportunities. You probably started doing some interviews on some of the major entertainment shows, right? You started getting interviews.
Yes, I did.
And
yes.
Tell me about these gigs. How much money were you getting offered to perform your favorite song, She Bangs?
That's one thing that I can't review the actual numbers by contract. But I would say that I was doing really well. It was to the point where I thought, wow, if I could do this every single year, I don't need to do anything else in my life. That's it.
Wow. So I mean, were you getting offers, and were people giving you money that if you said no, would they offer you more money just because they really wanted to have you? What kind of offers were you getting? I mean, let's get into that.
It was substantial. It was absolutely substantial. It was like I mentioned. It was to the point. All I can say is that it was to the point where the first year was the craziest year. I could tell you that my first album, Inspiration, was the #1 independent album on Billboard.
You had an album? I didn't even know that, William.
Yes, I got signed by Koch Records for $25,000. That one is public, so everybody can see that one.
Wow. Okay. So you made money off of the album. People bought that, and
yes,
you were getting offers. Now, did you get offers to perform at bat mitzvahs? Did you get offers to perform at weddings? What kind of places were calling you and saying, we want you to perform?
Of course, that I can talk about. So I performed at the Wango Tango at the Rose Bowl. Over 60,000 people that night. I never forget that one.
Wow. But you were doing private events too.
Yes. One of them is the House of Blues. Another one is Microsoft in Atlanta. They have it. Yeah.
Yeah. As somebody who knows corporate events, I know what kind of money you were getting now.
Yeah,
I mean, if Microsoft calls you up, that's a nice check.
Yes.
That's a nice check.
Yes.
Okay. So that is a nice check. So you've got all this stuff going on and this lasted for how long? 2-3 years? Is it still going on? Are you getting offers to perform now, or?
Yeah, so it actually lasted for about 4 years. I was doing it full time. Yes, but then things started to die down. Things started to slow down. I was still getting some offers, but it was I just looked at the math. I mean, some people don't like to look at it, but I have to look at it because I'm a realistic person. I know that I'm not getting enough. So I thought at that point, okay, maybe it's time to go back to school, get a day job, be smart with the money I have, and that's what I thought. I thought my life would be like that, and then I mean, yeah, I'm still getting offers here and there, but I didn't look at it as a full-time job anymore.
So you're getting offers here and there. It's not a full-time job. So when William Hung of reality show American Idol fame goes for a job, what kind of job do you do?
Well, I got it. I applied. I finished school with the math, and I got my business master's last year. So I'm more like an administrative assistant.
No way.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's put a different spin to it, because recently I realized there's a much better way to look at it, and hey, maybe I could I'm a problem solving extraordinaire.
Okay, so that sounds like something you've been working on. So, are you? So you've stopped doing the admin job, the administrative job? You're done with that?
No. I've been talking to many friends and mentors about this. I'm still doing it, but I'm doing it because I know that it's a smart decision. It's because I'm not someone that just want to burn the boat right now. I want to have everything in place before I take that next step.
So we talked a little bit before the interview, and you shared some information about some projects that you're working on, and I think the audience might find it interesting to learn that you are developing a coaching program. So let's talk a little bit about what you've had a long time to look back at what you've done. You went on, you took a gamble and did two things. You did that first talent show, then you went on and auditioned for American Idol, which catapulted you into international fame, pretty much. So
yes,
you didn't think anything of it back then, but you've had some time for reflection. What does that say about someone who will go on national television, audition, and sing a song that most people would say you didn't sing very well? Okay. But it was entertaining. Yeah. What are you getting out of that as the type of person that you are, and the type of gumption that you have to do something like that?
I believe that it comes from having that courage to just try new things in life. Never stop pushing forward. Always reinnovate yourself. So that's the way I see it.
So you look back at this in retrospect as something that you saw you had courage, and basically I guess you didn't even care what people thought or said. You said it earlier that you don't really put yourself in the category of other singers, correct?
Yes, because I know that I can't compete against other people, so therefore I only want to compete against myself.
That's very interesting. So I guess that has a lot to do with your self-esteem, right? And
yes,
the way you think about yourself, and that it doesn't really matter what other people say, but it's about what you want to do and getting into places where most people would tell themselves no. You tell yourself yes all the time, it seems like. I'm not reckless, but I would say that I'm willing to take more calculated risks than other people. Okay, calculated risks. Okay, I got you now, William. So William, tell me about, as you've been thinking about this coaching program, could you give the audience a sense of what you're putting together? What can they expect from this coaching program?
Well, before I even get into that part, I think I need to talk about like I started professional speaking like early this year. I repositioned myself because yes, I've been doing some speaking before, but I haven't thought of it as a business. But this started early this year. I felt that maybe I'm capable of achieving more. I'm capable of doing more than this average guy hiding in his cubicle. So that's why I'm not happy with my life. That's why I wanted to change, and that's why I decided to get into professional speaking. And what I discovered from professional speaking is that it's great to get paid speaking engagements, but it's also very hard to just rely on other people to pay me for speaking. So and one of my coaches, he mentioned to me, it doesn't matter if you're getting paid or not for speaking, because if you don't have other ways to engage the audience, let's say coaching or podcasts and other means, other communication tools, then I'm leaving a lot of value on the table. It's like I'm leaving too much. I'm not maximizing. So
the coaching program is an effort for you to be able to bridge speaking with something that you can monetize. Okay, so let's talk about, but if you're going to have a coaching program, what can people expect to get out of that program?
Of course. So my coaching program, it focuses on the mindset, the skill set, and the action. It's going to be, it doesn't matter. I think my live event, it will be like a 3-day event, but I think the format will be the same, regardless if it's a 3-day, it's 1 day, or you go through my do it yourself course. That's the format I have. I have a vision for it already. And then it'll go in sequence. So mindset is that the things I learned working in the entertainment industry as well as my speaking business. It's like what are some intangibles that you need? For example, maximizing productivity, having the clear vision. So like breaking up the task so you can prioritize properly, things like that.
Okay, that sounds like some good stuff. So where did you learn how to do all these things? Have you been really focusing in on these types of strategies so that you can teach it to others? How did you get all this business prowess of strategizing for success? How did you get that stuff?
How do I get that? I actually studied very hard on it. That's how I got it. And plus some of my life experience, like I would say in a way like failures. Because even though people think that I succeeded, I think I succeeded, but then I don't feel I succeed. I don't think I achieved my definition of true success. I feel that I should have done a lot better than letting my entertainment career die down after 4 years if I was more proactive. And that's the one, if people ask me sometimes like, what do I have regrets in life? I would say that's my biggest regret, but I'm fortunate that I have the power to change that, to reverse that.
It's interesting though, you say that, it died down, but I mean, people still refer to you when they talk about reality shows or they talk about things that happen. In fact, in a recent episode of Bravo's Watch What Happens Live, you were part of a little game that Andy Cohen was doing with Fantasia Barrino. It was very recent.
Oh, wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so Watch What Happens Live. After the show, I'll make sure I'll give you some information about what episode that was. They were doing a game about American Idol, the new one that's coming. ABC's relaunching American Idol.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
And they were doing one of those. Andy Cohen does these really fun games with his guests, and he was doing one with Fantasia. And I think it was something, he asked her a question about who would you rather have on your team, to I guess to make you a success. And you were one of the options, and she chose you.
Oh, nice.
She said something like, he goes hard or something like that. So that's a fun reference, but those references, they still go around. I'm sure it's hard for you to keep track of all of them, but you're still in the lexicon of that one performance on that one episode of American Idol. So there is something there and a message for people to be a little bit more fearless. Fear is something I talk about a lot on the Moment Master Show, and for sure, if you were impacted in any way by fear, I wouldn't be talking to you today. We wouldn't even know each other. No one would be looking to interview you. So fear is one of the themes that you could even address very, very well because you had no fear in doing what you did. Isn't that true?
Yes, I just thought that there's nothing to lose. It's okay to try. It's not a big deal.
Absolutely. It's always good to try. So another thing you mentioned earlier, I heard that it looks like you're going to have a podcast, and that's going to be something that is going to get some more of your messages out there. What do you anticipate audiences will learn or be able to hear about on your new podcast? And tell us a little bit about when you hope to launch it.
The name of my podcast is called Break Your Barriers, Change from Ordinary to Extraordinary. And I'll have it available sometime in 2018. So I will have a very diverse group of people of guests to be on my podcast. And each episode, I basically want to promote them. And then the structure is that the people will learn more about their background, the first question I'll probably ask them is like, how do you get started? How do you get into speaking? How do you get into financial services? So people learn more about them. And then I'll talk about their current successes and challenges. And then when they talk about the challenges, is when I can offer suggestions or at least share some ideas that I went through that can help them and help the listeners. So and then towards the end, I will ask, of course, I'll promote them and I'll ask people, him or her, how they can reach out to the guest. So that's the format. And the goal of having these podcasts, the end goal is to show people that I'm very capable of coaching. Yes, I'm not the guru. I don't have all the answers, and that's okay because I want to be very honest. I want to be very real. I want to give everything as much as I can in terms of my knowledge and experience. I
like the fact that you're taking away the negative by saying, you know what, I don't have all the answers, but you have a perspective. So that I can understand, and everybody has a perspective. And I would say that there's no guru out there that has all the answers, but some people just need to hear from a certain type of individual to motivate them to do what they want to do. So why not you, right? Why not William Hung?
Yeah, well, and I think the one thing that could be help me is because I was actually at a panel yesterday for Small Business Marketing Association, and what people liked about me and they told me is that I'm very honest, I'm very real. I don't filter. I don't BS either. So when I share something, people know that I'm telling the truth.
Well, that's great. Absolutely. Nobody wants to hear, the fluff and puff. They want the truth. They want to hear what they need to hear. And that's one of the things that I focus on all the time is giving people not what they want, but what they need. And that is a great place to come from,
yes.
For sure. So
yes,
thinking about what your plans are, you hope to reach what type of person do you feel is going to be most positively affected by hearing you speak or participating in a coaching program or a coaching seminar? Who is that person that you're trying to reach?
You mean my ideal client?
Your ideal audience, client, etc.
Okay. Well, I would say that my ideal client is someone that's going through a similar transition, like someone that wants to become the successful entrepreneur. They want to make it. And even though I hate to just use numbers because it's not the only factor, I would say one factor is that, let's say the first gate that we had to break through is like the 6-figure salary. Because once we get to the 6-figure salary consistently every year based on the coaching, speaking, whatever we doing, then it'll be much easier to live a lifestyle that we want to live in. It may not be luxurious. You're not going to able to, you can't waste money. You can't just buy whatever you want, but you can live a lifestyle that's comfortable for you. So I would say that my ideal client would be someone like me, but I'm a few steps ahead of them because I already have some of the systems in place.
Okay, very good. That sounds very interesting, and hopefully you'll have that a little bit more fleshed out before you launch your new programs. But yes. One of the things I wanted to make sure we covered in this interview is a piece of advice. I like to make sure that we give our listeners of the Moment Master Show a little piece of advice. So let me give you a scenario, and I want you to give a little piece of advice based on this type of person. What would you tell a small business owner who is running a business, they're doing okay, but they need to take that extra leap, but it's a risk? What piece of advice, what words of wisdom would you give to them to encourage them to move on and move forward with what they really need to do to succeed?
Well, I would say that at some point in your business, as a entrepreneur myself that wants to get to the next level, I think I would recommend taking that faith-based decision. At some point, you'll never be truly ready for it. It's very hard to wait until the time when you have 7 figures, everything is going great. Because if you wait until that point may never come to you. So I would say that if you do all the research, you do all the analysis, at some point you need to make that big decision, and maybe the sooner the better. Because I don't like the word failing, but I like the word of just trying and adapting, like based on what you learned. So that's my recommendation. If you feel it's right in your heart, just do it.
I love that. If you feel it's right in your heart, just do it. And everybody should take that to their heart, that same message, that they should definitely look at the things that they really want to do. And if it feels right, then you do it. And I always say it's important to, if you're going to fail, you have to fail forward. If something bad happens because of a decision you made, you learn from it, you pick up the pieces, you won't do it again, you move on, and you do something else that's going to take you to that success level that you were seeking originally. So that's always something that's great to do when you're trying to elevate yourself and or as they say, level up in your life or in your business. So William, right now, how could someone reach out to you? How can they find you on social or your website? Why don't you share a few ways that people could reach out to William Hung and get on your list and learn more about some of the upcoming stuff you have?
Of course. My website is williamhung.net, and my last name is spelled Hung. So again, williamhung.net. My email address is info @williamhung.net. And my phone number, you can reach out to me directly, 626-537-0123.
And do you want people to reach out to you on social at all? Facebook, Twitter, any of that?
Oh yeah, of course. I have my profile on Facebook. You can find me very easily. There's just to put a note out there. There's actually many impersonators, so make sure you.
Oh no! There's William Hung impersonators.
Yes. So make sure you find the guy wearing the crimson suit. I think I'm pretty easy to find nowadays.
That's good. And no worries, because all of your information will be in the show notes of this episode. So, William Hung, I want to thank you for coming on the Moment Master Show. And before I close out, I didn't ask you if you had anything else that you wanted to share. I should give you that opportunity. Is there anything else that you want to share before we close out the interview?
Well, I just want to say that to you and all the listeners out there, just do what's right in your heart, and then eventually you will succeed. If you keep believing in yourself, you can believe in what you do, you can become unique, you can become one of a kind, and you can make the impact you're always looking for.
Oh, I'm glad I asked you to say one last thing. That was fantastic, William, and I think everybody can take that to heart and do something with that. I want to thank you so much for being a fantastic guest on the Moment Master Show.
Thank you.
Wasn't he a fantastic guest? William Hung, somebody who I never thought I would end up being able to interview and really talk to him and hear another side of his story. And I think we could take away from his discussion about his journey to American Idol auditions to becoming basically an international reality star sensation, entertaining groups of, sounds like a lot of drunk corporate people around the world, but really having an opportunity to perform and do something that he probably never imagined himself doing, but was able to set out and to reach a goal of appearing on television, singing his favorite song, and then turning that into a 15 minutes that lasted for 4 years. And I really commend him for that, and being able to have the guts and took a risk of doing that and leveraging the opportunity for himself. We all make mistakes. There are things that he learned, but it looks like he's on a great track to turn around his life and to continue to leverage that ill-fated audition on American Idol Season 3. So kudos to William Hung, and I hope that his story inspires you to do something out of the ordinary. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to go on to iTunes and look up Moment Master Show if you're not listening to this on iTunes. And if you're already there, that's great. It's going to be a lot easier. You click on write a review, and you can plug in a review. It doesn't have to be too long. Tell everybody how much you love it. Submit it, and it'll show up. You can mention your business name. I don't think you can include a link, but you can certainly mention your business and just put a little note about what you got out of the episode. It makes it a lot easier for people to find this podcast and to keep it going. But just so you know, if people can find it and read a review and listen to it, and you'll get a lot more fabulous episodes if we keep getting people to listen. And while you're there, if you haven't subscribed yet to the Moment Master Show, you need to subscribe on whatever platform that you listen to it. You can listen to it on iTunes, on Google Play, on Stitcher, Player FM. There's a whole bunch of them out there. Just make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. Another thing I'd love for you to do is go to momentmasters.com, and that's the official web page for the Moment Master Show. You can see all the past episodes and my bio and some great offers on there. But there's one thing I want you to do. I want you to click on the hot list button. It's a little box on the right hand side. You'll see a little fire and it's a picture of me, and it says the hot list. Click on that. I'm keeping that up to date with like the latest and greatest things that are going on. You know, books that I think you should read, or different platforms to help you better do your social media, all kinds of stuff. Go on there, check that out. Feel free to click on anything there. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to, but it's good for you to know. Sometimes I mention different things on the show. That's where I put the stuff that I mention. I put it there in addition to in the show notes of each episode. But that's like a central place. You don't have to go sifting through different episodes. You can totally go over there and find whatever you need for something that I've mentioned on the show. So definitely do that. I don't think you'll have any problems finding it. Like I said, it's on the right-hand side. The hot list, this Moment Master Show hot list, definitely check that out. Also, if you're looking to hear some experts, like in the course of several days from the comfort of your home, go over some of the most important things that you need to be focused on for your business. I am putting together the 2018 Growth and Success Con virtual conference, which is going to take place in September 2018, and hopefully September's following that as well. So we're going to just focus on 2018 right now. Go to growthsuccesscon.com. You'll be able to register for free. Let me just repeat that. Go to growthsuccesscon.com. You will be able to register for free to attend. It's going to be over the course of 2 days. It may go to 3 depending upon how many speakers sign up for this thing. But sign up for it. It'll be a great way for you to have access to some really amazing presentations on marketing, social media, how to grow your business, finance, all of those great topics. Everything that you need is going to be a part of this. And the best news is that if you sign up and say you can't make it, you will be notified automatically of the replay. So you won't miss anything of it. You'll have access to it in perpetuity. So go to growthsuccesscon.com. There will be a link in the show notes for you to register for free to attend Growth Success Con 2018, the virtual conference, live or in a replay if you happen to not be able to make it. But growthsuccesscon.com. I hope you are able to do that. And if you are a thought leader that could share your expertise and your wisdom, and you want to be in front of thousands of small business owners, then you definitely should sign up to be a speaker partner for this event. That also is available at growthsuccesscon.com. Just click on call for speakers. That's going to be going on a rolling basis for probably up till about 60 days before the actual conference. So you have time if you happen to be listening to this before September 2018. But definitely go there, sign up to be a speaker, submit a proposal. We're going to be looking at all of them. I really hope you do. It's going to be a great way to market your business to a bunch of small business owners who might need you. I'm telling everybody that this is a great opportunity both for a business owner who just wants to just learn as much as possible. And it's also a great way to position yourself. If you are a thought leader, you can be one of our speaker partners who are going to get like a ton of marketing stuff related to this thing. So if you go onto the call for speakers, all the information is there. So growthsuccesscon.com, whether you're a speaker and you want to submit yourself, or if you're just a small business owner that wants to get something for free, growthsuccesscon.com is where you need to go. Definitely check it out. We've come to the end of this episode. I am Shakira Brown, also known as the Small Biz Whisperer. And wherever you may be and whatever time it is right now, I hope you learned a little something to truly become a moment master. Take care.